few moments right now and talk to you about 7 steps to setting goals successfully. 7 steps to setting goals successfully. The first one is to identify the goal. You know, it takes just as long to achieve the wrong goal as it does the right one. Take your time. Look at it from every angle. Talk to your spouse or get some kind of counsel. Is this what you really want? If you reach this goal, where will it take you? What's the next step? So identify the goal. Take your time and identify the goal. And you know, really, that's what life coaching is. You know, the purpose of a life coach is to help the client discover who they really are and what they really want. That's it. And a life coach can help you identify the right goal, the real goal, what you really want. And I'm going to stop right here and I'm going to give the secret word. And those of you who have listened to my podcast are going to know what to do with the secret word. And the word is Road King. Road King is the secret word. Be sure and follow the instructions and put your name in the drawing. Okay. Now then, back to setting goals successfully. You know, I can't express enough how important it is to set the right goal instead of the almost right goal. To go in the right direction instead of, you know, just 10 degrees off. To get exactly where you want to go instead of almost where you want to go. It's only when we take responsibility for the goals that we begin to reach the greatness in our lives. And the secret is the accuracy of the goal. Number one, identify the goal. Don't be surprised if you, at first, you have a hard time identifying the right goals. Because think about this. How many people do you know in this situation? They went to college, studied 4 years in a certain area, and now just like 5 years later, they're working in a completely different field. Sometimes we get excited about the objective without really examining, is it right for us? And again, a life coach can help with that. So just make sure you look at the goal from every angle. Number 2, write it down. Make it real. Put it in words. You know, type it on your laptop. Put it in your handheld device. Give it life. And the best way to give it life is to write it down. Write it down. Number 3, give it a date. It has to be specific. It can always be changed, but it has to start with a date. There's one exception to that. It's a kind of goal that has different kind of dating. For example, you know, a usual goal, you know, back to the weight loss, to lose 14 pounds in a healthy way by March 1st. Those are easy to date. But what about goals, say for instance in the field of relationships, and you know, a husband might want to become a better listener, or he might want to start spending more time with his son, which is what I've worked with people that on a number of cases. This is the way you would date it. To become a better listener with noticeable progress by January 13th. We just add something in there, and that something in there is noticeable progress. And that's big. It has to be noticed. It has to be noticed by you. It has to be noticed, especially something if you're writing a goal like spending time with your family. Because as a life coach, I might say, hey, put your wife on the phone. Put your kids on the phone. Just to hold you accountable to become a better listener with noticeable progress by, say, January 13th. So give it a date. Give it a date. Number 4, list the obstacles to achieve the goal. List the obstacles to achieve. I try not to list more than 3 obstacles per goal. Recently, just got a message from an old friend who's been kind of following what's been going on with Twin Rivers Life Coaching and listening to my podcast and things like that. And I got a message to her. She has decided to change careers for 2010. And I think it's awesome. I think it's great. It's going to require some additional education. And I just kind of asked her a couple of questions on, you know, what's involved. And, you know, so her goal might be something like to attend a night school. And in that particular case, I would date the start, the date that we started. That would be the goal, to attend night school by August 15th. You know, because it's going to be another goal to graduate. And I knew one obstacle, for example, was money. So, you know, so her three obstacles could be, I'm not saying these are, they could be. Here's the obstacles. I can't afford it right now. I don't have time in my current schedule. And my family doesn't support my decision. Those are three real obstacles that she could have about changing careers. Now, when you write down these obstacles, they immediately call for solutions, which brings us to number 5. Write and date the action steps. You have to write and date the action steps. You won't know what action to take until you've identified the obstacles. That's why the obstacles have to be identified first. You got to be very clear on your obstacles. These are almost as important as the goal. And you know, so you got to ask yourself, what's really holding me back here? And some obstacles, you might look and go, you know what? I'm not even going to write this down because it's really not even obstacles. Really need to be clear. So take your time with this. If you don't write down what can possibly stop you, chances are they're going to stop you. Can't emphasize enough of how important it is to write down the obstacles and the action steps. Remember, that's your whole plan. That's your whole plan to succeeding. That's your whole plan to achieving that goal, is being able to clearly identify the obstacles and write the action steps. And again, little sidebar here, the life coach can help you with that. Try not to write more than 2 or 3 action steps with the dates. You get more than 2 or 3 again, you start getting a little spread out, start getting nitpicky. 2 or 3 is a good number of action steps and obstacles. And this will give you a systematic action plan for your goal. And if you stop and think about it, these action steps become little goals, very specific and short term. Number 6, prioritize the goals. And here's how you can prioritize them. Ask yourself, which goal I would achieve if I could only focus on 3 of my goals today. Which ones? 3. You might have 6 goals, 7 goals, but to focus, which 3 of those can I focus? Which ones would they be? So again, you can really only focus on 1 to 3 goals a week. You really, I mean, seriously, can't tell you. Get excited about making changes in your life. You go, oh, I want to change this, I want to change this, and I'm going to make adjustments here. But honestly, you can really only focus on 1 or 3 of those areas. So prioritize the goal. Ask yourself, which 2 or 3 can I focus on today? Which ones would they be? Remember, you're tracking, you're writing down. So you might work on a goal 1 week and might put it on the shelf the next and pick back up there. But if you're tracking the goals properly, you're going to know where you left off and where to pick up. And that brings us to number 7. Review and track your goals on a schedule. Can't emphasize enough the importance of this step. You know, a lot of people just flat out fail because they're not doing the step. When you're tracking, it also gives you an opportunity to redate and change the obstacles and change the action steps as needed. Life happens. I know I've said that throughout this video a number of times. Life happens. We have to be real. We have to be real about achieving these goals. And there's some things that just change. Our circumstances change. But this also gives you a work in progress attitude. A work in progress attitude. And one of the documents that you download today will help you with tracking your goals. Those are the 7 to successfully achieving your goals.